Pepper, as y'all call him, is up on X spewing lies. But let me tell you something. Never trust tweets, only trust receipts.
Storm breaks down his role at the Zeus Network.
Who wants to meet with me about starting a social network. His pitch was he wanted to start a black Netflix for influencers and call it the Social Network.
He goes on to explain how they met and the significance of Zeus.
He offered me a good amount of equity in the company and said he was going to look out for Lamorne for connecting us. He never looked out for Lamorne. Now, at the time, I had the biggest series on the internet called the Cart Series. Wait, baby, don't do that. No. Had over 500 million views. It was nominated for an Emmy, 4 Streamies, winning 2. Then Lemmy asked me, are there any other influencers I could bring on as partners? Because we needed some heavy hitters in social media for this thing to work.
Storm goes on to explain that he recommends Bach and that Bach recommends Jake Paul. He then explains that Jake was busy but decided to do one episode, so their next suggestion was Amanda Cerny.
Now, at this point, I broke down my equity so myself, Batch, and Amanda could have even equity across the board, and we all became co-founders. Even equity across the board, and we all became co-founders.
At this point, they're all considered co-founders and partners, with Storm being the president.
I met with Daystorm, King Batch, and Amanda Cerny, who were pretty big influencers.
Yes.
And we ended up, I brought them on board. I brought them on board.
Lemmy didn't actually bring them on board to the network. Storm did.
Lemmy was supposed to be behind the scenes as the CEO, and the three of us were to be the face of the network, myself as the president. Lemmy was supposed to be behind the scenes as the CEO, and the three of us were to be the face of the network, myself as the president.
Storm goes into detail about how Zeus is in multiple lawsuits and that Zeus claims they make millions of dollars on their taxes from a network they've received no income from. They're paying taxes on a broken partnership agreement.
Today, myself, Batch, and Amanda, we received K-1 tax documents stating that we make millions of dollars from the Zeus Network as partners. So we're paying taxes on money that we never received.
Lemmy proceeds to spend portions of their funding, going over $500,000 worth of funds used to start the network. Storm then goes on to mention his part in the naming of the Zeus Network.
Daystorm actually came up with the name Zeus.
So then became the Zeus Network.